Hey, welcome to your life group. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Pastor Matt, and I'm excited by the fact that you are here today. I don't know why you're actually here today. I don't know if somebody has invited you and you're like, yeah, I'll come to check out the life group. Or if maybe somebody has forced you to come to a life group. Or maybe you're a next door neighbor and you live next door and you're like watching people come in and bring in trays of food and stuff. And you're like, I'm following the food. I'm coming to this house. 3 reasons why I'm excited that you're here. Number 1, you get free food. Who doesn't like free food? Free food is exciting, but it's also scriptural that people do life together and they eat together. You remember the story in the Bible where 5,000 people were fed together? Jesus performs a miracle with a couple loaves of bread and some fish, and he feeds 5,000 to 10,000 people, and they're all eating together. Life change is done while they're eating together. Remember the Last Supper with Jesus? The night before Jesus goes to the cross, he has one meal, one dinner. In the early church in the book of Acts, people met together in each other's homes, and they ate. They broke bread together. So there's something about eating together where people can do life and they can trust one another. The second reason why I think it's important to be a part of this group and why you should be excited is because this is where a big church becomes small. It is very possible for you to come on a Sunday morning to Pinion Hills Community Church and get lost in the shuffle. And people may not know that you're even there or when you come, when you don't come. In the context of a life group, people get to know you really well and they know if you're here or if you're not here. A big church becomes small in the context of a life group. The third reason why I'm excited for you to be here is because a life group gives you the ability to have a group with whom you can do life. Now, I know that sounds really redundant. It's like, hey, thank you, Captain Obvious, for telling me the obvious thing of a life group you do life with. I get that it sounds redundant, it sounds obvious. However, it's not obvious to everybody because this isn't just a Bible study. It's not just a time to eat with each other. It's a time to do life with each other. When things hit the fan in your family, things don't go according to plan. Maybe you wind up in a car accident or you're in the hospital. You get to do life with these people. It's not just another event on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night or whatever day that you're meeting. It's not just another thing to attend. These people in this group, you can do life with them. So I'm excited, not just for the free food, not just because the big church becomes small. I'm excited because these are people with whom you can do life with. And the series that we're going to be starting as of next week is called Divine Direction. Wouldn't it be nice to have directions in life directly from God himself? I remember a couple of years ago, I was cast in a movie called No Country for Old Men. I was really excited about this particular movie for 2 reasons. One, I was going to have a speaking line, which I've been in other movies as an extra, but I'd never had a speaking line. And by having a speaking line, it gave me the ability to get a union card, a Screen Actors Guild card, which every actor really, really wants to get. By having this one particular speaking line in a movie, I was going to get a SAG card. But 2, the other part that I was really excited about, my speaking line was with Tommy Lee Jones, of all people. I think he's a very talented actor. So I was really excited. I get to be cast in this movie, No Country for Old Men. I get a speaking line with Tommy Lee Jones. So I was really, really excited. So I remember I got ready for it. They did a fitting for me, got my clothes ready. The camera was going to be so zoomed in on me that they made a name tag for me. I was going to be a border guard in this film. So we got all the preparations ready. The day came that I was supposed to film. I was going to be filming on a Friday. I drove from Albuquerque up north to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and we were all ready to film. The producer comes up to me right before we're supposed to go and film, and he says, hey, bad news, Matt. And I was like, what's the bad news? He said, we can't find Tommy Lee Jones. I'm like, what do you mean you can't find Tommy Lee Jones? He's like, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and a couple of his bodyguards, they went up to Taos, New Mexico. Apparently they don't have cell phone coverage, and we think that they're lost. I'm like, what do you mean you lost Tommy Lee Jones in Taos, New Mexico? And they're like, yeah, we can't find him. We don't know if he's going to come back. We don't know when he's going to come back. And so they said, just sit tight. Hopefully he'll come back, and hopefully you'll be able to do your filming with him. And I said, well, what happens if he doesn't show up today? And I said, what happens if he doesn't show up today? What are we going to do then? And they said, well, we'll bump your shoot from Friday to Saturday. I was like, but I said, I can't do Saturday. I had to be a part of a wedding on Saturday. The only day I could film was Friday. So we sat there and waited for Tommy Lee Jones, hour after hour after hour, and he never showed up. They said, well, we have to bump that particular scene to Saturday. I said, I can't be there Saturday. They said, well, how about we film you in a different part of the movie? So they did. They put me in a different part of the movie. I did not get my speaking line. I did not get my close-up zoom. I did not get my SAG card. I'm still in the movie. I'm in No Country for Old Men, but I'm like 100 yards away from the camera. I'm like a border guide, like ushering people through this border checkpoint between Mexico and the United States. So if you want to go and watch the movie, it's kind of a crazy movie, so maybe you shouldn't. But I'm actually in No Country for Old Men, but I didn't get my SAG card. I didn't get my speaking line. I didn't even get to meet Tommy Lee Jones. Why? Because he got lost. He had no directions. Poor guy. Poor me, too, at the same time. A few weeks ago, I was watching another show called The Office. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but The Office, really funny show. Michael Scott is the main character. He's a manager over this paper company. His assistant manager is a guy named Dwight, and they're both in a car. Michael Scott is driving one day, and they're going to a convention of some sort, and as they're driving along, Michael Scott is listening to directions from his GPS. And the GPS says turn right, so Michael Scott turns right. GPS says turn left, Michael Scott turns left. Well, at one point they come up to a road that's straight, and the GPS says go straight on this road, but at the end of the road was a lake. And Dwight's over in the passenger seat. He's like, Michael Scott, don't drive into that lake, don't drive into that lake. And Michael Scott's driving. He's like, but the GPS told me to. I'm supposed to drive into this lake. So what does he do? He punches it and drives straight into the water, into the lake, and they get stuck in the lake just because the GPS told him to go that direction. So in two of these stories, Tommy Lee Jones had no directions. Michael Scott had directions, but they were the wrong direction. Either way, sometimes we have no direction in life. Sometimes people give us wrong directions in life. Sometimes we metaphorically drive ourselves into a lake because people led us the wrong way. Wouldn't it be nice if we had directions for our life, where we should turn, where we should go, what we should do from God? Wouldn't it be nice to have divine direction? Over the course of the next 6 weeks, we're going to dive into Scripture and figure out, how do we hear from God? How do we know which way to turn? How do we know which way to go? This is going to be a great series to make sure that you are aligning your life with the direction that God has for you. So here's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask that you consistently come and you be a part of this, because I don't want you to miss out on the direction that God has for your life. In fact, to make the most of this particular group, 3 things I want to specifically ask. Number 1, be open-minded. Have an open heart. God might want to teach you things. Don't come in thinking, I know everything that there is to know. No matter how long you've been a Christian, if you've been a part of this group for a long time, great, I'm glad you're here. Maybe this is your first night. Maybe you're new to exploring the things of God in Scripture. Wherever you are in your journey, have an open heart and an open mind and say, I am open to hearing whatever God has to teach me. Second bit of advice I'd have for you in this group is participate. Join in the group. Don't just be a fly on the wall. Don't just sit there and listen to everybody else's comments and everybody else's thoughts. You speak up. Voice your thoughts. Voice your opinion. Engage in the conversation. And the third encouragement that I would have for you regarding this group is have fun. Just loosen up. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the community of this group. I really believe that life change takes place best in the context of groups like the one that you're sitting in right now. So you're set up to be successful. You are ready to go. I am thankful that you are here. And tonight, we're not even diving into the video series with Craig Rochelle. We're not even getting into that just yet, because I want to give you the chance where you can get to know each other a little bit better. So right now, what I'm going to invite you to do is play a little game that we call 2 Truths and a Lie. Here's how this goes. You're going to share your name. You're going to go around in the whole group, share your name, and share 3 details about yourself. 1 of them has to be a lie. 2 of them have to be true. It doesn't have to be the first detail or the last one or the middle one. It has to be a lie. Vary it up. Keep people guessing. 2 truths and a lie. So that's what we're going to do. Go around in a circle. I'll start us off. So my name is Matt Mizell, and here are my 2 truths and a lie. You get to guess which one you think is the lie. Number 1, I have been skydiving one time in my life. Number 2, I once spent the night in Alcatraz. And number 3, I used to live in the Bahamas. Which of those 2 are true, and which one do you think is the lie? I'm going to ask you to pause this video right now. You can talk about it amongst yourselves, give your best shot, whichever one you think is the lie, and then push play, and I'll tell you which one was the lie. Okay, welcome back. So I'm not sure if you got it correct or not, but let's do the informal poll here. Raise your hand if you think that I lied about skydiving in the past. Anybody think I lied about that? Okay. Who thinks that I lied about the Alcatraz, spending the night in Alcatraz? Okay. And last one, who thinks that I have lived in the Bahamas? Well, here is the answer. I have been skydiving, and I have lived in the Bahamas. I have never spent the night in Alcatraz. I went there last year, in fact, and I tried to get Alcatraz tickets, and I couldn't even get tickets. So if you ever decide to go to Alcatraz, you have to call at least 2 months ahead of time so you can get yourself tickets. But even if I could spend the night, I don't think I would do that. That sounds really creepy. So anyway, those are 2 truths and a lie about me. Now it's your turn. Share your name in 2 truths and a lie, and have fun tonight as you get to know each other. Thank you for being a part of this life group. We'll see you soon.